Okay, I'll admit it. I'm a little late to the party. I just had a lot going on, man. I can explain. Season 7 of Gumball just came out almost a month ago. I know, I told you I was late. In the season, they only released the first 20 episodes, so I want to wait to make a review on it until they release the remaining 20. Hopefully it doesn't take yet another 7 years to release. So you may be sitting here wondering, what is this video about, and why did you mention the 8th season in the title? Why not talk about the new content that's actually been released? Well, my reasoning is that, again, I want to wait till all 40 episodes are all out, and secondly, I have a bit of a fear for the direction this show might be taking, and I want to warn you all before it happens. Don't say I didn't warn you. So, as most of you should know, Gumball originally ended in 2019 with Season 6 and its final episode, The Inquisition. At the time of this, people were kinda angry at the finale of Season 6, as the show would be cancelled after that. The reason why everyone was mad wasn't because the episode itself was bad, but because it ended on a serious cliffhanger that felt very rushed. Everyone wanted to know what Rob had to say at the end of it. People were mad, but series creator Ben Clay said that it wasn't his decision to end the show the way it did, and this was all the way back in 2019. Over the next few years, 2 new series released after the show ended, these being titled Darwin's Yearbook and The Gumball Chronicles respectively. Now, these shows have some new animation, but they're basically clip shows. These series didn't have too much to do with anything, so it's fine if we just glossed over them. Now, a movie was supposed to be in production, but got heavily delayed even to this day. Now, this is because of the pandemic and the merger between Warner Brothers and Discovery. This merger canceled and delayed tons of projects, including the Gumball movie, which was supposed to release in 2021. That's pretty much 4 years ago. The next few months went by until in 2021 a new Gumball season was announced to be in production, and by then it was just a matter of waiting. These poor Gumball fans, man, me included. Anyway, bringing us back to the current year, the teaser trailer and the title name change was announced in May of 2025. This was huge and the first piece of Gumball media that wasn't fan-made in years. Over the next few months, we would see some new sneak peeks, like a snippet of one of the episodes, the new intro as well as the release date for the new season, and fast forward to now. Good, you got all the details? Great. Now we can move on to what this video is actually about. Time to talk about Season 8. It's crazy I'm talking about this before the rest of Season 7 even comes out. Anyways, in an interview with Ben Clay, he said that he was already writing episodes for a possible 8th season. Now, he did mention that an 8th season had not gotten greenlit yet, and it's actually truly up to the response of Season 7 that would determine this statement, which I think we all know went very well. The series was at the top spot on Disney Plus and Hulu for a while, so I think it's safe to say Season 8 is pretty much going to happen. And a quick side note, I know some of you guys will call it Season 2 since the new title change makes it seem like it's a different series, but I'm going off of what Ben said himself. He calls it Season 8, so I will too. On the wiki page, it says that there might be a few seasons of this continuation before the movie. Now that's great, but this is where I divert and talk about why any of this happened in the first place. Remember the cliffhanger from Season 6 that left fans confused and upset? Well, the main reason everyone has been clamoring to get some sort of continuation was because they wanted to see the cliffhanger get resolved in a satisfying way. And while these first 2 episodes of the new season were great, some even being S tier for me, there's pretty much no recognition of the events that transpired in 2019. And this now means that folks will have to wait even longer just to see what they want. And while I'm sure everyone's happy just to have some normal Gumball episodes given to them, I can't see why it would be upsetting to not have this problem resolved. Luckily, in another interview with Ben Clay, Ben stated that Rob and the Void and everything with the Inquisition will be resolved in this season. This was kind of groundbreaking news, and I was really happy to see that this wasn't going to be written off as something that just was not a canon event. However, he did say that it would be the season finale, meaning we would have to wait until the second batch of episodes for the new season release. And it's the final episode of that batch, so it's even more waiting. We did get the title for the episode, it being named promptly The Rewrite, presumably to go back and maybe even rewrite what happened in the Inquisition. He says it ends everything in a nice and satisfying way. Now obviously we still have a movie to come out, and we will have Season 8 probably before we get that film. So we all know we'll have to wait a bit longer for that. Now that I've covered all this stuff, we are left with waiting for the season 7 finale to get the Void story wrapped up. And we'll probably get another season and maybe another one after that before we get the movie. Alright, simple. But there is a problem in all this, and it's about what the show will do if the Void storyline is concluded. Now I obviously don't know if season 7 finale is just going to be to resolve the cliffhanger and not the entire Void situation, or if it is. But I would assume that they can do this in one single episode. Or maybe a double feature. But there is a problem with this. What will season 8 do from here on out? Now, this video is banking on the fact that we will get an 8th season, which I do think we will. But if we don't and you're watching this after the news comes out, then this doesn't really matter, I guess. But I'm still going to talk about it anyway. And what better way to talk about this than to bring up another show that suffered the very same fate I'm alluding to. And of course, I'm talking about Gumball. If for some reason you don't know, SpongeBob's first 3 seasons and the movie were praised for being amazing, for a good reason. However, quickly after Steven Hillenburg left after the film, the season's quality went downhill pretty quickly. No matter what you think of modern SpongeBob, it's safe to say we're nowhere near as good as it used to be. And that can happen with any show that goes on for 16 seasons. But the reason why I compare this to Gumball is because what they do after the movie, if the series is making money and doing well both financially and critically, then why stop it? Just let it keep going, right? And that's exactly what happened to Spring Bubble. It just went on for too long, past its expiration date. And it also became a forever show, which is just a show that seemingly goes on forever and ever. Now, to me, Gumball never felt like a forever show, but the more I think about it, the more it seems possible that the writers may be able to make it happen. Gumball could be a forever show for multiple reasons, and this is why it's so scary to think about. Gumball, as we know, has a plethora of weird and strange characters, and just a ton of characters in general. Now, because of this, it makes it infinitely easier to come up with new episodes, 10 seasons in, because we can just use a character like Ocho who had only 2 episodes to themselves. This is a little scary, because then the writers may start taking deep dives and choosing random background characters to give an episode on. That's not a bad thing necessarily. Episodes like The Others and The Extras were really cool episodes. One introduced us to a bunch of new classmates at the school, and the other let us see the lives of the background characters without Gumball and Darwin interrupting. But those were those types of episodes. What I'm talking about here is choosing one character to stick with and form a story around for an episode. By season 8, we've done a ton with the Watterson family already, and a lot with the classmates at the school. So now it may be a case where we see plots getting more bizarre and more obscure characters or one-offs be explored a lot more than they needed to, all because the writers are struggling to find new things to do with them. The best thing you can do with the series, and yes, while it may be a bit sad to see some old things go, if you don't evolve things and let them grow, then they are bound to get stale at some point or another. The thing they need to do is let the kids age up a bit. I'm not talking about Gumball future situation, but more so aging them up a year or so. Maybe that they can go to high school and face new problems there. I get that you want to keep them as young as possible, but why not just choose a voice actor who's going through puberty on purpose? I'm not saying they have to. It would be nice to age up the characters along with the audience. Letting some change into the series can help things feel fresh. However, if they do it the wrong way, it can make it feel as if it's becoming too different and too detached from what it used to be. There may not be as much appeal, and when they do try doing something different, it might come off as trying too hard, or even jumping the shark. Again, this can up the shelf life for a season or two, but after that, there's no doubt that these things will start to drag on. I know Ben is a very cool Chad, so if he sees the quality decline, then he might know it's right to end it. He might even end it with season 8 and the movie, which sounds like the right move to me. But if the series is doing really well, people are watching, and it's bringing in the racks of cash, then Ben may comply and hand over the series to someone else, or keep on chugging along. We already talked about the same thing happened with SpongeBob and how Steven Hillenburg leaving the show off to someone else was a sort of the dark age, and it could be for Gumball too. But if I had to put my money on it, I'd say we'd be left with 8 or maybe even 9 seasons and a movie to conclude the series and leave everyone off with a great taste in their mouth. Let me know your thoughts on Gumball being a forever show and what direction you think the series will take if it went on forever. Tell me in the comments, I'm really interested in hearing what you guys have to say. Sorry this video took so long to come out too. The school year was starting, I was figuring out what I wanted to do with this channel, and I was getting in the process of monetization. So now that that's over, expect maybe 2 or 3 videos a month like normal. So those are my thoughts on the way Gumball may die out. I have a pretty mixed tone throughout the entire video, and I want to tell you that this could not happen. Everything that I say in this video isn't a hard fact and is just an educated guess. It's just me trying to make sense of all this. I'll probably make another Gumball video when the rest of season 7 comes out, but until then there's not much else to say. If the show does spiral down in the madness, I won't mind too much, because if it does, at least we had a good 7 or 8 seasons. We still won't have that movie though.